Like it or not, we live in community and we communicate. These two words have the same Latin root, communicatare, to share. To be in community is to communicate, is to share. God has given us a talent to speak, and that's the easiest way to communicate. Speech can be used for good and for evil. Today, I would like to talk about, well, maybe not the so good way of communication or speech, and that is gossip. Gossip, idle talk or rumor, especially about the person or private affairs of others. Let me give you an example. Bill is an unassuming man, and he moves into town and he joins the local church and goes to church every Sunday. And Mary, well, she's the church fixture, but likes to get into everybody's business. She notices that Bill's truck is parked in front of the local bar every day. And she doesn't know that Bill has rented the apartment above. And the rumors start to fly, gossip starts to fly at church, and we understand what kind of a man Bill really is. Bill is really starting to feel the pain in the local congregation because he's being ostracized and so on and so forth, but he doesn't say a word. Quiet, unassuming man. And one night, he drives his truck over to Mary's house, parks in front of the house, locks the door, and walks home. The gossip stopped the next day. Well, we're all prone to discussing the boss's latest decision, complaining about a difficult coworker, talking about an unusual neighbor, or the couple at church that seems to be having some problems. But when is dialogue healthy and when is it toxic? Well, when a conversation is negative, inflammatory, embarrassing, or hurtful to others, it's toxic. If it perpetuates because of someone's misfortune or belittles someone's abilities, it's toxic. If someone you would not say this to in person, it's toxic. If it takes certain facts and twists them into something mean-spirited, it's definitely toxic and even dangerous. Such gossip has a malicious intent, and it can have a profound effect on the person or people that are being gossiped about, on the entire team, on the workplace, on the community, worst of all, families. It can damage morale, productivity, trust, and everyone's emotional health by causing conflict and creating or exacerbating personality clashes. People may form cliques, take sides, and refuse to work with certain co-workers. Church communities can split and have devastating effects on families. Gossip can also be hideous when it takes the form of bullying or harassment. If the intent is to demean, propagate lies or half-truths about people, or designed to hurt, denigrate, and destroy reputations behind people's backs, then gossip has crossed the line into harassment or slander. Because gossip often concerns inferences and rumors rather than established facts, it can be difficult to find out who started it, let alone undo or refute it. Many times, the damage from rumors can never be overcome. Being cautious with gossip is common sense, but the lure of being in the loop is seductive and largely human nature. So why do people feel the need to constantly gossip? There are likely as many rumors as there are gossips. For instance, I feel part of a group. People gossip to feel as though they belong to a group, Yet when accepted based on being in on a secret, it's not based on personal identity, but on exclusion and maliciousness. To feel important, many gossipers love to be seen as a source of information, and they feel powerful when they attract requests for more information. They feel superior. People don't feel good about themselves, temporarily feel better when they judge others negatively. Out of envy, people gossip in order to hurt those whose talent or lifestyle they envy. Out of boredom, when people can't generate interesting discussion based on knowledge or ideas, gossip often will fill the void. Out of anger, someone who doesn't have the courage to settle a dispute face to face, or is not in a position to resolve a situation with someone in a superior position, often gets revenge by making despairing remarks about the person. Gossiping demonstrates a person's insecurity and mean-spiritedness. It also leaves everyone involved feeling uncomfortable. Remember that people often enjoy being a center of attention while divulging pieces of gossip. So by not giving them the attention they are seeking, you are already promoting a gossip-free culture. Gossip is nothing new. I'm sure we've had gossip since the time that man began to talk. Circa 700 BC, King Solomon wrote about gossip in the book of Proverbs. In 2011, Pastor Rick Renner recorded a video referring to Proverbs, emphasizing how horrible gossip is, and even said some believe it is worse than murder. He summed up the biblical reality of that gossip is worse than all abominations. Pastor Renz was referring to the things that are an abomination to the Lord. From Proverbs chapter 6, verses 16 to 19, there are 6 things the Lord hates. Yes, 7 are an abomination to him. Haughty eyes, a lying tongue, hands that shed innocent blood, a heart that plots wicked schemes, feet that are quick to run to evil, the false witness who utters lies, and the one who sows discord among kindred. Pastor Reynolds continues by pointing to Proverbs chapter 26, verses 22 to 25. The words of a talebearer, a gossip, are like dainty morsels. They sink into one's inmost being. Like a glazed finish on earthenware are smooth lips and wicked heart. With their lips enemies pretend, but inwardly they maintain deceit. When they speak graciously, do not trust them, for 7 abominations are in their hearts. Rick Renner's point from Proverbs chapter 26, verse 25 is that gossip has 7 abominations, or the gossip has 7 abominations in his heart. That gossiping is worse than murder. The point is, gossip can kill in many ways and kill over and over. We find gossip all too prevalent in society. Worse yet, it's in our churches. There are many reasons people struggle with this horrible, divisive, and destructive sin. One of the more flagrant ones is justifying it because the gossiper believes what he or she is spreading is true. This is basic misunderstanding we have. St. Paul, was concerned as he had intended to visit the church in Corinth, that he might discover their behavior were not as he had hoped. He wrote in his letter to them, "For I fear that when I come, I may find you not as I wish, and that you may find me not as you wish, that there may be rivalry, jealousy, fury, selfishness, slander, gossip, conceit, and discord. Notice how he mentions both slander and gossip. There's a reason. They are related but different things. Basically, gossip is sharing information that ought not be shared. It may or may not be true. Too many people think it's okay to share information that shouldn't be shared because they believe it is true. So they justify sharing private information that is nobody's business to share. In their minds, it's fine to destroy things like relationships and reputation because, hey, if it's true, they deserve it. Slander is spreading false information. We need to understand that one can be gossiping and slandering at the same time. And one can be gossiping and not slandering at the same time. In other words, gossip can be true and slander is false. Jesus said, if I tell you on the day of judgment, people will render an account of every careless word they speak. By your words you will be acquitted, and by your words you will be condemned. True or not, don't share personal and private things. That's gossip. Let me leave you with one final thought, and it's the three filters test for gossip. Socrates, the Greek philosopher, was once stopped by an acquaintance as he passed through the markets. "I've something important to tell you," he said. "It's about your friend." "That's very kind of you," Socrates said, "but don't tell me just yet. I'll run it through the three filters test to ascertain if I want to know it." The man looked somewhat puzzled at Socrates, continued, "First is the filter of truth. Everyone, whatever you want to tell me, have you witnessed it in first hand?" "I actually heard it from someone," the man said, "and it is from a trusted source." "All right, but that does not pass the first test," Socrates said, "since you don't know whether it's true." Second is the filter of goodness. "Is that a good statement you want to tell me about my friend?" Not really. That's the reason I wanted," Socrates interjected. "So you want to tell me something bad about someone, but don't know if it's true." The last filter is utility. He continued, "Your statement about my friend, is that something that's going to be useful to me?" "Not really as such. I just want to share." "Well, if the information is not necessarily true, it's not good, and it's of no use," Socrates concluded, "please don't tell me about it." Remember, only you can prevent gossip.